Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of Animal House Radio on CHHA 1610, Latin Voices AM in Toronto, and worldwide on www.animalhouseradio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, joined obviously with the dynamic duo himself, Mr. Man, Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, how are you, buddy?
Great, Aaron. How you doing?
Not too bad. How's your week?
Great. Yourself?
It's been wonderful.
Definitely.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Now, this is an amazing guest on the show. This is one of the biggest shows in the world.
And my favorite.
Mike is absolutely in love with this show. This guest has got a great new campaign with our friends at PETA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Animal House Radio, Carrie Inaba. Carrie Ann, how are ya? Not too bad, thank you. Thank you so much for joining Animal House Radio. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, and let me ask you one thing. Have you ever been to Toronto?
When I was on tour with Madonna in '93, we stopped by Toronto, and it was beautiful.
Yes, and isn't that where the famous movie was shot? When they kind of kicked you off the stage there, and there was that whole big... was that the Truth or Dare movie?
Oh, I wasn't in that movie. That one was all boys.
Oh.
I'm the girl judge.
Okay, good. Now, I was reading some of the stuff that you're working on right now with PETA, and I've got to say, we have the utmost respect for PETA, and the work that they do is absolutely fantastic, and what they're trying to promote to people in the world, from celebrities who are vegetarians, from celebrities who want to talk about puppy mills, from celebrities in your case who want to talk about spaying and neutering. And this is a very important message. And when I found out that you were part of this, I was absolutely thrilled to have you on the show to talk about this, because to use your celebrity on ABC on Dancing with the Stars, tell me how this all came together with yourself and PETA.
Well, actually, okay, what happens is, hold on, my iPhone just rang. Hold on, I have to turn it off.
No problem.
Did you hear that? Anyway, my publicist and I, at the beginning of this, or I guess about season 3, which was about 2 years ago, we started talking about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get involved with. And the thing that I love most in this world are animals. I don't know, I love them. My whole life revolves around them. I have 3 cats of my own. I grew up with dogs. Pretty much any time I see an animal, they kind of come first, because I feel like they're at such a disadvantage. Humans have come here and kind of just taken over everything, and we don't give them a lot of choices, and they kind of have to live by our rules. And so I believe that they're kind of first and foremost. So came and asked about me being involved in their ABC campaign, which is about animal birth control. It was an obvious yes. It was like no hesitation, absolutely. And then they said, okay, well, we want you to dress kind of sexy and do this cabaret kind of dancing kind of picture. I was like, oh, I don't know, but then it reminded me what it was for, and I was like, okay.
And I gotta say, I very much enjoyed that picture. That was Shadow in the picture with you, wasn't it?
That's my cat, Shadow. Yeah, he's the oldest of my cats. He's 16 years old, and he just walked in my door one day. He rescued me, I like to say.
Now it's Dr. Mike, Carrie Ann. Tell me a bit about your 3 cats. How did you acquire them?
Well, they're all rescues to some extent or another.
Wonderful.
Shadow just walked in my door one day and never left. And
wow.
He's kind of like my angel cat. I don't know. I mean, I know all the people who listen to your show are animal lovers, but sometimes there's those cats that end up feeling more like they're the parent. He's the one that takes care of me more than I feel like I take care of him. I love him to death, but I always feel like he's watching out for me. Then I have Squeaker, who's about 12 years old, and I had my first cat as an adult. Her name was Hangton, and she lived to be about 18, and then she passed away in her sleep next to me. And then so the next day, I was devastated. Friends rushed me over to the shelter to look for another little cat, and Squeaker was about the ugliest cat you could see at the shelter. And I thought, oh no one's going to take her. I have to take her. And so I took her, and she's been just nothing but wonderful. And then my third cat, Taz, is about 6 years old, and he was under, in LA, we have a very busy intersection at Hollywood and Highland, and he was right there under the cars of under the wheels of a huge big rig, and I don't know what happened, but all of us, it's like time froze, and we all ran out and saved him before the truck rolled forward.
Wow.
And it was just this beautiful moment, and then they were like, okay, you take him, because we all thought he was hurt, and then as soon as they put him in my hands, he looked at me, and he hissed.
Oh,
it was the cutest thing, and so I kept...
So what do you have against dogs?
Oh, no, I love dogs. You know what? I feel like you have to have the right property for a dog.
Right.
So actually, I just moved into a property where I have a nice backyard, and we're trying to figure out exactly, what kind of dog to get that both my boyfriend and I would do well with.
Wow. Now, you said I know we read and we found out you were born in Hawaii. Did you have any dogs there when you were in Hawaii?
I grew up with, my first dog was a Basset Hound, Angel, and then I had a Poodle, and then I had a German Shepherd, and then I had a Golden Retriever, and then we had I can't think of the name. What are the dark, a Doberman.
Right.
And then we had
great dogs.
A Rottweiler.
Wow. That's quite a
all,
selection.
And I've loved them all. They're all
That's great. Wonderful. Well, I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of the show. I've watched it since its inception. I actually happen to be a ballroom dancer myself. My wife and I danced the mambo at our wedding. So
really?
I need a favor from you. If ever a show called Dancing with the Ducks comes on, you got to look me up.
Okay.
All righty? Appreciate that.
Dancing with the Ducks.
Yeah. My email address is drmike@manthatguycanchacha.com.
Yeah. I've seen him dance. It's really not that good. Seriously.
Come on. I bet it's fun.
Oh no, it's not. I threw up one time. It was horrible. His wife can dance. She's a beautiful dancer, but no. Dr. Mike is he's a great surgeon, but he's not a good dancer.
But not a good dancer. I don't believe it. I think everybody can dance.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
So more coming back to PETA now. For one of the things that I'm reading over here is one unspayed female cat and her offspring can create up to almost 420,000 cats in just 7 years.
Yeah.
Now, next week we have Bob Barker on the program, who's been an advocate for this for over 35 years, and to attach your name on something like this is not only something that I think is a great responsibility, but it's a big responsibility to basically to partner up with PETA and say, listen, America, world, we need to do something about what is going on with the overpopulation of animals in general.
Yeah. Well, when I found out that basically in the shelters I think it's more than 15 animals are killed every minute.
Wow, that's scary. That's a scary number.
About 10,000 animals every day. And when you think about that, and I think about like Squeaker, Shadow, Taz, those are 3 animals. Their lives they have that much love in their life, and I can't even imagine. So if we can prevent that so that these animals don't have to suffer. There's so many animals in shelters right now as well that it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense that we're breeding animals to put them to sleep.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And our shelters here in Toronto, by the way, are full as well. So it's worldwide for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Definite worldwide problem.